But now it's up to you to decide what to do. So what do you want to do? You're in a clearing. He's pointed you to this path that leads out of the clearing, and you can do whatever you want to do.
Can we see the town from where we are?
You're kind of down in the woods. You can't see the town from where you are.
All right.
And we have, I was going to say that because you mentioned they took the chainmail and sword and stuff. Do we have those back, or Sphinx?
You have your chainmail and swords, and you have a sword and you have chainmail, and you have your tunic. You don't really have much else. Maybe like a little belt pouch, but you're not really equipped for an adventure or anything like that.
Okay, so not the shield or anything. Okay, see what I have available. Okay. I guess you start walking up the path, unless you guys.
Okay, you come along the path, and there's a farmer. You see a farmer with his hay wagon and a donkey coming along, and he sees you, and he's like, "Oh, Blackmoor guards, nice to see ya." Rides on.
Do we have any distinguishing features that shows that we're Blackmoor guards?
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that, because you happen to be wearing over your chainmail a big tabard that has the shield of Blackmoor on it, and it's a dead giveaway that you guys work for the Baron. Nobody else would wear that.
I'm thinking maybe if we are supposed to figure some stuff out, maybe we should go a bit more undercover. I don't know about what you think about that, guys.
I don't know. That's a good idea. I mean, we're kind of on a secret mission, and we probably stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, I would imagine 6 guys walking around with Blackmoor guards garments on. So I'm thinking, Mike. Yeah.
You guys chat a second, and your DM is gonna step away from the camera for a second.
Okay.
All right.
Now, does that mute me?
It does. What are you saying, Henry?
I was going to say, though, like, we've already been spotted by, like, one farmer. Won't it seem a bit odd if we now remove our garb, go into town, and then we run into him later on?
Yeah. Well, was he... I didn't catch... Was he going out of town or into town?
Into town.
Oh.
I think we should probably, approach this in an official capacity initially. Like, they don't know that we're... the Order of the Dragon thing, but they had one civilian see us in our garb already. I just think changing out of it now might be a bit suspicious. We don't know how close-knit this town is.
That's a good point. And maybe, it will probably give us some... We'll probably be spotted earlier, but I think we could use our positions to our advantage.
Yeah.
Official capacity. That seems... All right, I'm with you on that.
Okay. So what are you guys going to do? One of you guys tell me what you're doing.
Well, you guys want to
I guess we're leaving the...
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just asking, do you guys want to go into town?
Yeah, I think so, because we need to find out what's going on, and the best way to do that, I think, is to go straight into town.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, you're going into town. What have you done about your tabards? Did you decide to remove those, or?
No, we're keeping them because we already spoke to the farmer,
and
we presume that might be a close-knit community. So if he sees us in town later on and we've changed out of our uniforms, it might seem a bit odd.
Oh, okay. So you get to the gate, and the guards at the gate see you, and they're like, "Oh, come on in." I mean, you walk about a half a mile through woods, and then there's an open area, and you see the walled city. The city is actually, there's like a river that flows, kind of like, it makes like a horseshoe. Like if you have your browser open, I don't know if you've ever seen a map of Verona, but you could like do a Verona map, Google, and you could look at Verona, Italy, and how it's shaped. And the old city is nestled inside of the curve like a horseshoe of the river, and there are walls all around it, but really the walls are there to what am I trying to say? The walls are there just to protect the landward side because there's river all around it. The city goes by a lot of different names, Vestfold. It was before it was Vestfold, I think it was Tonnisborg, of course. And sometimes people just call it Fastnessfold. That's the more common name in my Blackmoor, is Fastnessfold. I have kind of made it my own in my game. And this Fastness River is the river that wraps around it. And so, yeah, you come up to the gates and the guards wave you in, and you find yourself on a main avenue. I mean, a main avenue in a medieval city is about maybe 30 feet across max, with buildings all around and lots of people and wagons, and traffic is kind of slow, and you work your way along there. Do you have any objectives or anything you would like to aim for? Or
well, I imagine that we are going to question some people here if anything's going on.
Yeah, you probably will. Let me get a die roll from Daniel on a d6 and tell me what you got.
D6. 5.
Okay. I need one from Henry on a d6.
I got a 5 as well.
Okay. What about you, Rasmus?
3.
Okay. Yeah. So you're in this city. It's sort of like the feeling for you guys would be sort of like if you lived in a small town and suddenly found yourself in downtown Manhattan in New York City. It's a lot busier. People pressing up against you a little too close, it might make you a little uneasy. People's sense of space is different in this city than what you're used to in Blackmoor, where people have more space to move around. And so, I mean, you can let the current take you on this avenue toward the center of town. If you do, it will spill you out into like a main piazza. And you can see several large churches around the piazza, churches, temples around the piazza for the various religions of Blackmoor. Blackmoor kind of has, it's not really a cohesive pantheon. Blackmoor, just for some metagaming here, I won't tell you, your characters wouldn't know this, but Blackmoor is set in the future, and Blackmoor was populated by humans that landed on spaceships on a strange planet far away. And so thousands and thousands of years in the future, they find this planet, and the planet is where the strange science happens. And what they start to discover is that their science, their technology starts to break down, and they can't leave the planet because their spaceships won't leave. And after a while, their computers don't work, and there are strange creatures there. Other species that are not human, like elves and dwarves, are already there. The dragons are there, of course, as the oldest race of Blackmoor. And so when humans arrive on Blackmoor, they kind of bring all their religions with them. And so you get this weird commingling of beliefs. And so you have a lot of different churches and belief systems that exist on Blackmoor. Some are like, just name your country on Earth, and there's something like an old religion from that country there. And the people of Blackmoor also reflect this heritage, because they're just, anyone that you would have found on a spaceship from Earth is going to be on Blackmoor as far as the phenotypes of the humans. So anyway, back to playing. You're spilled out onto this great big piazza, and it's very crowded, and there's a market going. You wander through, and you can see that they sell just about everything there. You also notice that there's something strange that you haven't seen before, and that some people are being led around you might be inclined to think that some of the people there are being treated as slaves, but not slaves. It's more like a conscription, like they are inferior citizens because of whatever economic problems they've had, and so they are owned by other people, and that seems kind of weird to you, because that you wouldn't see that in Blackmoor town itself. It just isn't how things are done there. Everybody roll me a die, a d6 for each character. Let's start up top with Rasmus.
For each character?
Yep.
Yeah, I get a 5 and a 3.
Okay, what about Henry?
1 and a 6.
Daniel?
6 and a 2.
Okay. The one character, as you go through the crowd, somebody slips. You feel something in your hand, and somebody is just tucking something in your hand, and then the hand pulls away, and it's like a slip of paper has been shoved into your hand.
Okay, I will wait till I've sort of moved a little bit further, and then I'll discreetly look at the piece of paper.
Okay, what you see when you open the paper is you see the same little symbol that you've been shown upon joining the order: the circle, the curvy line, the letter M, and written underneath it, 5 roses.
Okay, I'll turn to my companions and discreetly let them know and show them the piece of paper.
Did you get a good look at whoever gave you this?
No, I sort of looked at the paper. I didn't really look at the person that handed it to me.
5 roses, that could sound like an inn or some kind of shop, maybe.
Yeah, maybe we look at the inn names and I don't know, maybe flower shops too, just in case. But
yeah,
I don't know.
I would suggest maybe like we don't ask about it because we don't want to sort of rouse suspicion, because just in case people are questioning why. But maybe discreetly, if we can look for tavern names and stuff as you suggested, it might be a good idea.
So I have an idea, right? We have 2 guys each.
Yeah.
So I was thinking maybe stationing one of my guys at the town plaza, just while the other people, go around looking for clues. Have a guy just observing the crowd, see if anything strange is going on in the day-to-day going of the city. How does that sound?
I just think maybe leave 2 at least, because I think one person in isolation might be likely to get into trouble.
That's not a bad idea, but I wouldn't want to volunteer your guys.
No, I'll volunteer one of my guys.
Yeah.
Or do you want to
kind of thinking?
We could always have like one of each of our characters stay in the plaza, a group of 3, and then the other 3 can start investigating. Maybe split the party that way. So we've got 3 and 3. So that might be the safest way to do it.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
All right. So you're just going to sit. One of your guys is sitting by himself. Does he have a name?
Yeah, I'm leaving Simon.
Okay, Simon. Okay. Simon's going to stay behind in the big piazza with the market while everybody else goes looking for other things.
I think what we were going to do, we're going to have 3 of us in the market.
3 of you. Okay.
So it's going to be one of each of our characters. Yeah, just for safety.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I kind of tuned out while you guys were talking. I just went off. I do that a lot. I'm actually the world's most scatterbrained dungeon master, so I will keep asking you to correct what I think you did, because that's just I just can't keep track of everything half the time. All right, so the ones that go wandering off, you go wandering off. You find yourself going down a long, busy road. Are you looking for anything? Are you trying to do anything? What do you do on the wandering ones?
I think we're looking for. Yeah.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I think we're looking for something to connect with these 5 roses, possibly an inn or a flower shop of some kind. Something, if there's a sign or anything with 5 roses painted on it. We don't want to ask people. We just want to look for it at first.
Okay. So you find yourself wandering down a street. You can tell that you've gone sort of into like more like it might be the merchant's quarter. You see a lot of like upscale goods. You know, it's not. I don't know. It'd be like, I guess it would be the medieval equivalent of going through a large shopping mall. You got all these storefronts. They're selling goods, but they're nice goods, fabrics that are dyed and probably imported from strange places that are dyed in strange ways, silks. You see some shops that have, they advertise that they appraise jewels, metal workers of all kinds of metals of different price values. It's really like kind of like a lots of interesting goods. Each of you that's in that area, roll me a d6.
I got a 2.
I got a 1.
And I got a 3. So 1, 2, 3.
The one that got a 1, what's the character name on that one?
Bolin?
Bolin?
Yeah.
Bolin looks down the street off one of the side streets and says, wait a minute, there's like a piazza down there, and I think that I see some roses down there. And sure enough, if you wander down that little alleyway, I mean, it's a tiny alleyway, you find yourself on a smaller piazza off of the main drag, and it's very quiet here. There's not a lot of traffic in this piazza. And across from where you spill out into the piazza, you see an inn, and there over the front of the place, there's this big wooden plank with roses that are painted bright colors and carved into the plank and lacquered.
And is there 5 of them?
Yep. There's no words. It just said just 5 roses. That's how you write things down when you're illiterate.
I might go back to the plaza and get the other guys now that we've found what we're looking for.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems like a smart idea if there's more than one plaza. Okay.
I mean, it's a medieval city. When I say you're wandering around a city, you've gone maybe, I don't know, a quarter mile, if that, an eighth of a mile. It's not that far. So you wander back and you find the guys. While you guys were gone, the guys have been able to like overhear people talking in the plaza. And some of the things they're hearing, they heard one person saying something like, yeah, we haven't seen the Earl, and the Earl hasn't been seen in public for at least 2 weeks, and a couple other people are like, I think, they say the Earl is dead and that he died of old age, but I think he was assassinated. And other people are saying like, well, there are rumors coming from north that there's a force of creatures from the Dark Empire up north coming down, and that we might be getting invaded soon. And things of that nature are the kind of rumors you're hearing. So you guys gather together. You can go back to where you found the inn. You come back to the piazza where the inn is. What are you guys going to do?
I want to look around. What is the amount of city guards that we're seeing?
Here you see, because you're in the merchant's quarter, you see a fair amount of city guards, but you also see a fair amount of just private guards, and they may not you'll notice like a store that has really expensive goods might have a guy standing out front, and you can't really see that he's wearing any armor, but he has a very puffy cloak, like he's, or you might see a big sword sticking out from underneath his cloak. And definitely the merchant's quarter, there's a lot of security. As you look around, you get a sense that there are also scholarly looking people, men and women, wandering around in robes, but not wearing armor, but clearly showing riches you know. So kind of a mix between nobles and wizardly types. And you'll see clerics of the various religions walking through, looking kind of prissy and rich, you know, because you can always fleece the locals if you have a good temple that you're running. So that's what it's like on the main drag. But then that little side alleyway is very narrow. It's like, I don't know, you might get a donkey and a person through it. It's not very big. And it leads into that other piazza, and it's very quiet there, and peaceful. And I mean, it's so quiet. You hear pigeons, and you can hear maybe somebody talking in a window, a conversation, just distant voices, or some ladies' voices through, you know, coming out of a stairwell or something.
All right.
So that's kind of where you are.
Well, I'm thinking maybe station the 3 waiter guys outside the 5 roses, and us other 3 guys go inside.
Yep, that sounds good.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So you go inside, and you know, you're greeted by a tavern maid. She doesn't really look like your typical tavern maid. She looks pretty tough, you know, and she's like, "What can I get for you guys?"
I'll just take an ale.
Okay.
Yeah, we walk far. Why not?
All right. It'll be 2
Yeah,
coppers
right.
for the ales. Yeah. We'll make it 2 coppers for the ales.
All right. How
Sounds
much
good.
gold did we get from that sack we got earlier?
Roll me a d6, each of you.
For
I rolled a 1.
yeah, I rolled a 1 too.
Uh-oh.
What'd
I
you
rolled
roll?
4.
A 4?
Oh.
Okay, you got 60 gold
Yeah.
pieces.
60.
Yep.
Oh,
The 4
that's
saved
all right.
us
That's
a little
pretty
bit.
good. Yeah.
All right.
I'm writing our gold down.
So is each of you having an
You
ale,
got it.
I take it?
Just the 3 that have
Yeah.
gone inside.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
the other
won't-
3
yeah, we won't
just
tell
hanging
the
out.
others. Yeah.
Are they hanging
Yeah.
out?
Yeah, outside. Just
I mean, you have a you know, sort of a courtyard. Let's just say you guys are up in, you know, on this side inside the tavern. Your guys are where a little alley lets in, and it's kind of, you know, not really oblong. Let's say maybe more rectangular-ish piazza, and there's alleys going out in, you know, little tiny ones just going out. You're kind of entering the maze of the old city, you know. So your guys where are they standing? Like, if I hold my hands like this, and your tavern is here, and you guys came from here, where are the other 3? Are they just hanging out together? There's a statue kind of offset in the middle with a fountain.
All right. So I have a proposition for this.
Okay.
I think a good idea would be having 2 guys standing at the tavern, and then opposite those 2 guys have the 3rd guy standing alone, so they can watch each other, but we can see all directions. How does that sound?
Yep. That sounds good.
yeah,
Okay.
sounds good to me.
So you're sitting, and you guys are in the tavern drinking, and the guys outside are hanging out there, and you know, every once in a while somebody wanders through. Nothing really impressive is happening. At a certain point, you see somebody wander out of an alley and just turn to face the wall, and then they step away and they go back inside the alley. And when you look back, you realize that somebody has left this symbol of the dragon drawn in chalk on the wall there at the opening to the alley.
I think we should
think
probably
that's-
investigate.
Yeah, we should probably investigate that. Should we give a heads up to the drinking guys, or should we just let them be in peace?
Maybe check it out first, and then if we're going to leave the area, we'll go get the other guys.
Let's
Yeah,
do that. I'm with you on that.
Okay.
alrighty.
If you walk over, you will come to the opening, and just a little bit into the shadows of the alley, there's what you thought was a young man, but is actually just a very slender woman, and she's wearing leather armor, and she has a sword, and she's just leaning up against the wall watching you come across. And she just kind of like So you guys are the guys they sent us, huh? She doesn't look very impressed with you. Oh, all right. I thought there were going to be more of you.
But
my guy will say, yeah, there is.
Okay, well, where go get them or something. I mean, where are your friends?
They went inside. I'll go grab them now.
All right,
I'll go back and get the other guys.
We'll wait here. So when you bring your friends back, she's like, okay, follow me. And she leads you through this winding way through the town. And before long, you realize you're kind of like, it's just as windy, but maybe things are a little bit more decrepit. And as you come along, windows shut, there's a sense of unease in this part of town. And she leads you to a place and down a little passage and opens a door and lets you inside this sort of first level home. And she says, okay, well, I got, this is where I can lodge you here till later. We're going to need to go. I need you to do something for me. I got a mission for you guys. Do you have any messages or anything from Blackmoor? Did they tell you anything?
We just know that there might be something going on with the Earl, and we were sent to investigate.
Okay. All right. Well, here's what's going to happen. You guys are. We needed some fighters that nobody knew around town, and we're going to try to infiltrate the Thieves Guild. We think the Thieves Guild has created an alliance with some really unsavory characters who might even be associated with the Egg of Coot. And so what we need you to do is infiltrate the Thieves Guild and just find out what you can find out. We're kind of worried. There are rumors that there might be an invasion happening soon. There are reports that up at Glendower that maybe Glendower is under siege right now. We don't really know what's going on up there. Our spies haven't been coming back. We might, at this point, we're worried that we might have been infiltrated and that our spies are being assassinated. So what we can do is I've got food here for you. We've cooked some food. Stay here overnight. Tomorrow I'll come back and get you. And you got to get rid of those stupid. You got to get rid of all that Blackmoor stuff here. And I got some old worn out, just random, sort of unlabeled tabards that you can wear over your chainmail. That doesn't really associate you with any of the major powers right now. What else? I mean, is there anything you guys want to know about your mission?
Well, yeah. First off, what's your name?
Well, it would be a lot better if I don't tell you my name.
You just told us that our organization may be infiltrated. That's correct.
Yeah, my organization could be infiltrated. I don't want to know your names either. The less we know about each other, the better at this point. You can refer to me as Lavender. That's the best thing.
Well, that helps.
Okay. And I will just call you Warrior.
1 through 6.
But go on. Anything else you'd like to know? She's ladling out bowls of food for you guys. It's about, maybe a little bit after lunch now.
All right.
Do you have any suggestions as to how it'd be best for us to sort of blend in? Like, should we be recruits for the Thieves Guild or something else? Do you have a plan?
Yeah, we're gonna try to get you in the good graces of the Thieves Guild. They're always looking for ruffians that can work people over, anybody that's got good skill with a sword, above average skill with a sword, or looks like they might have above average skill with a sword, is welcome in their ranks. If you exhibit just a lack of morality about what's right and wrong, they'll like you. So we're going to set up a little thing tomorrow to get you guys to interfere in a situation that we've set up in favor of the thieves. We know where some of their pickpockets like to hang out, and we'll just create a scene and you guys will come to the rescue, and then we'll see where it goes from that. If nothing happens, we'll have to try something else, but we're hoping, fingers crossed, that they'll just take the bait and want you to work with them. How does that sound?
One of my guys is named Hawk, and his dex is pretty reasonable and his wisdom isn't. So he's going to ask if she can teach him a little bit of pickpocketing skills just tonight before we go anywhere.
Well, that's not really my specialty. I'll be honest with you. My specialty is killing, and but maybe if you get in with the thieves, you can use that as a way to get them to like you. Is you can just ask them if they'll teach you how to do it.
Okay, excellent. Yeah,
okay.
My character Hawk's very happy with that.
All right. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave you here. I'll come get you tomorrow. After you meet the thieves, you won't see me for a few days. I'm going to leave you alone. You'll be watched. There will be people watching you from my organization and keeping an eye on what's going on. If you get into any trouble, you're going to be on your own, and you're going to have to figure your way out of it. The main thing is you've got to figure out, we think that they're up to something no good. We don't know what it is. You got to figure out what it is and report back what it is. Maybe even if you can figure out how to stop it, let us know how to stop it, or if there's anything you can do to stop it, that'd be great. But I'll be back tomorrow around lunchtime. I've got plenty of soup here for you, and bread and some wine. My advice is that you shouldn't go out into the streets in this part of town. It's just not safe. You should just stay here. So I'll see you tomorrow around lunchtime, around noon. And she takes off. So there you are. You're in an unsavory part of town. What would you like to do? But you're safe and snug and safe as can be inside a little apartment, a little home.
How many entrances and exits are there from the building we're in?
There's a back entrance and there's a front entrance. And by all the sound you hear, you kind of get a sense that you're the lower apartment of like maybe a 2-story building, and there's somebody you hear a lot of thumping about upstairs. Like maybe there's a family, you hear kids running and stuff inside there. It's not like the street, nobody's out on the street. It's just that it's you can tell that it's a really poor side of town. And so you guys might be marks if you went out into the streets.
Yeah, I think we probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
It sounds like.
All right, so the plan is right now we do their little stunt and hope to get recruited by the Thieves Guild, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, the next day, if you just hang out there and wait, the next day.
What we'll probably do is sleep in shifts, so there's always 2 of us awake, just in case something happens during the night.
Yeah.
I think just one to guard each entrance while the other 4 sleep, and we take turns.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. I figure since we're all Blackmoor guards in the same regiment, we probably already have something figured out like that.
Did you take her advice and change out your outer garments so that you just look like tough guys, like just random mercenary types. Okay.
Yeah.
Roll me a d6, each character.
All right, I got a 5 and a 3.
I got a 3 and a 2.
Got 4 and a 3.
Okay. Surprisingly, it's rather quiet all night long. You don't really, nothing too distracting happens. You know, you hear some shouting, people running down the street, just random city life. Sort of the medieval equivalent of you know, an average night, like I said, in New York City or any other big city. So the next day, you guys wake up and you're waiting, and you wait a little while, and finally you hear a knock on the door to your place.
Is this the same door as Lavender left from?
Yeah.
All right, I think my 2 guys will open the door, like one watching the door and the other opens it.
You open the door and you see, like, before she comes in, she kind of looks over her shoulder like she's casing out that nobody's been following her, and she steps in and shuts the door, and she's like, okay, we're ready to go. We're going to go down to the market, the big market, and we've spotted some of their I wouldn't call them agents. I would just say some of their low level, low grade thieves are down there pickpocketing, and they work in teams. You'll see when we get there what I'm talking about. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch them for a while, and then after a while, there's going to be a gentleman in a bright red velvet cloak that's going to appear and make himself an easy target for them. And it's at that point, when something breaks out, that we'll send you in to interfere. So you go down. She leads you down to the market, and you get to the market, and she walks along with you, and she says, "Okay, they're over there. Let's just hang out right here." And you tuck into a little alley that can look out across the market. You see a lot of people between you and the people she's pointing out to you, but you know, it sort of keeps them from noticing you. You're just kind of hanging out 50, 60 feet away or something like that. So as you watch them, you
just
see.
To be clear, can I just ask, just to be clear, is when this mark is being targeted, is our job to prevent the pickpockets from robbing them?
Well, I'll first I'll let you see what they do, and then we're going to send our target out, and then right. You'll go interfere once something happens with the target, and you should side. Yes, the goal is to side with the thieves, the pickpockets, right, so we should, and rescue them.
So we should be helping the pickpockets. That's what I just want to make sure that which side we're meant to be on. Okay.
Yeah. So you're standing there, and she points out, you see it happen over and over. One of them is wandering around. Sometimes he'll have like a cup of water or something, and he'll like it to anyone else, it would look like an accident, but he'll like turn around and accidentally bump into somebody and spray water all over them with his cup, and he'll be like pawing them. He'll take out a handkerchief, and he'll be, completely apologetic, and he'll completely absorb their attention as he helps tidy them up and send them on their way. In the meantime, his ally comes in from behind and slips a hand into a pocket or a belt pouch, or removes a gemmed dagger from its sheath, and then the friend takes about 10 steps, and there'll be somebody else that passes by, and he'll hand the thing off to that person, and that person will go off down an alley. So, anybody who thinks they're clever enough that they know they've been robbed, it could attack, could grab either the guy that's wiping him down or the guy that picked his pocket, and they won't find any evidence because it's already been handed off to somebody that goes down an alley, a random alley around there, to take it back to their little stash place. So you see this happen, 3 or 4 times through the morning. I mean, they're just, it's a business, it's like a factory production line for them. And they seem to have an eye for picking, the right person that's alone, wealthy enough to have something that's worth taking. You don't bother with just ordinary people. They're going for people of a certain class. So finally she says, okay, here he comes. And she points, and you see this guy, and he's dressed in all velvet, and he's just, very noble, like a very upper class noble type. And he comes wandering in with his little slippers and his little gold chains and everything. And sure enough, he's going through there, and the guy turns around and accidentally bumps into him with his glass of wine or water or whatever, splashes him. He's like, oh my God, you've just, look what you've done. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, sir, let me wipe you down. And somebody else comes in to do the theft, and the guy in red grabs his wrist, right as he's grabbing his belt pouch, and he's like, I caught you. I know what's going on here. And just then Lavender says, go, and pushes you guys forward. And so you've got this noble type looking rich guy, and he's got this waif by the wrist, and the waif's got like a pouch or something in his hand, or something that he pulled out of the noble's pocket or belt pouch. And you were like 60 feet away when you see this happen, so you go running up. And the other guy's trying to interfere. He's trying to get him to, like, no, I think you've made a mistake. So what do you guys do?
I think Darius, who's the larger of my two characters, will sort of rush in next to the guy that's sort of patting down the water, and sort of join in and go, oh, we're terribly sorry, and talk really loudly to try and talk over the guy that's saying he was robbed. And Hawk would probably move in and just hold his hand under the pouch that the waif's got in his hand, and just sort of look to him to see if he wants to pass it off.
Okay.
Yeah, that seems like a good idea to cause a distraction. So my two guys are just loudly talking as well and asking, oh, what's happened here? And is that what kind of wine is that? Where did you buy that? And trying to start up a conversation like that, and just cause as much confusion as possible.
Okay. Are you pulling the guy's hand out of because you're interfering with the kid that has a pouch? Are you just pulling his, like, trying to separate him from his grip on the guy? Or
I think one of my guys is asking about the wine, and the other guy is trying to separate the two, the red dressed guy and the thief, and asking, oh, what happened here, and what is this all about, and stuff like that, but not really listening, just keep on talking.
Okay, what are your guys doing, Daniel? I'm sorry.
I think they'll probably go in and just start arguing with the guy. Like, what are you doing? You didn't see him do anything. You're just grabbing his wrist and blaming him. What is this? Just blaming people out of nowhere.
Okay, and I forgot, Henry, your guys what are your guys doing again, Henry?
Darius is trying to get himself in position between the merchant and the waif, and Hawk's got his hand under the pouch the waif's got in his hand, and just looking to him to see if he's going to drop the pouch.
Okay. Roll me a d6.
Okay. I got a 4.
Okay. The waif lets go of the pouch into your guy's hand. And the guy that's the setup guy is pretending not to see what's happening. He's like, and he's starting to argue with the other guys, and like, push you back, and like, I can't believe this place. This is outrageous. A person can't walk down the street without having their goods stolen and such.
Hawk's going to sort of disappear into the crowd, and then just look for a laneway to sort of duck down and just sort of wait. And then Darius, sort of with the others, is just going to stand in the way and just keep sort of distracting. Okay,
well, the guy's just arguing with you guys, and like, well, where are those? I can't believe you let the thieves get away. And Hawk, who goes off to disappear, you're being trailed by the waif and the other thief.
I think at this point, there's no reason for us to stay here. So my two guys would just say, "Oh, we're getting nothing out of this," and just immediately disappear and try to follow Hawk.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think my two guys will
maybe
keep arguing with the waif and kind of keep him in a single spot and distracted from seeing where anybody goes.
Okay. So while you guys are arguing, you guys all head off toward. Well, you're kind of leading the way, Hawk. Where are you gonna go? Because everybody's trailing you. You're in charge.
Okay, so I'm looking to find like move through the crowd, look for a laneway somewhere where I can get out of the main drag and just sort of duck around the corner.
Okay.
And then I'll just sort of wait because I actually want the waif to catch up to me, so that I can act.
Okay. So what you see is that the market is kind of set up as like rows of well, you've seen like vegetable markets out. Open air vegetable markets where they have like tents and they'll be both sides, like people are in the middle selling stuff and the goods are on the outside. There's kind of 2 rows in the piazza like this and walkways around. And so you can sort of sneak off to the side and find a little, a dark corner or an alley to go stand in. And when you do, the waif and his mate show up and they're like, wait a minute, that's ours. That's our stuff. You can't go stealing from us, buddy.
What choice of words?
I'll turn around to the waif and I'll say, look, I could see you guys are in a bit of trouble, so I just thought I'd help you out.
Well, yeah, but okay, well, you gotta you gotta give it to us. And it seems like you just have like a little pouch, like a purse or something, with a little tie string or something. Like, yeah, that stuff's ours, buddy. We're the ones that got it. You really don't want to go stepping on our business because you're going to bring down a lot of bad business on yourself if you do. So why don't you just hand it over?
I'll toss in the pouch and say,
okay.
Hey, I'm not the bad guy here. I just thought you guys needed a bit of help. That's all.
He's like, okay, roll me a 2 dice, 2 6-siders.
Okay. I got a 3 and a 6.
So he gets the pouch and he looks in it and he smiles, shows it to his friend. He like reaches in, he gets out a silver piece and he flips the silver piece to you and he's like, you're all right. Where are you staying? Or where can I mean, what's your name?
You can call me Hawk. And
okay, Hawk.
You can probably find me.
Accent.
You'll find me in one of the nearby taverns.
Okay. Yeah, I got somebody that might want to. I know somebody's looking for somebody that has your abilities, and he kind of sizes you up and looks at your armor and your sword. Yeah, we could use somebody like you. Listen, if there's a place, called the Lazy Eye Beholder, and if you go up to Lazy Eye Beholder tonight, just come on up and I'll buy you a drink and I'll introduce you to some friends. How's that sound?
That sounds perfect.
Okay. All right. We got to get back to work here. So, I'll see you later, but definitely come to the Lazy Eye Beholder. And later tonight, right around sunset, and we'll share some food and some wine, and you can talk to my friends. So, and they turn around and go marching off. He says, "Oh, my name's Blackfinger. Don't forget it."
No worries. Good to know.
And so they go wandering back to the market. You can see that they're looking around to make sure that the one guy that they just fleeced has already left the market. So that's what happens. You see no sign of the lavender.
All right. So what about me and Daniel's characters? Where are they at now?
The ones that we're following along can catch up. You probably got there halfway through this exchange. The ones that were distracting, the guy finally got, he's not going to start a fight with you. He's not.
Right.
You got two guys in chainmail that look like brutes with swords. He's just got frustrated and wandered off. And of course, he's the plant. He's a plant, so he's doing his part, and he's left.
He's in on it.
Yeah.
So they kind of argue and split ways, and I guess my guys will kind of go to the side of the street and look for, kind of keep an eye out and see where everybody went, or wait for them to come back, sort of thing. It's kind of looking around.
Okay. So you guys are there. Everybody's a little bit split up. You're waiting where you were, and the other guys are kind of further down into the market by the alley. I'll leave it up to you guys to figure out, are you going to get back together? What's the plan here?
Well, I think my guys are catching up to Hawk.
Yeah.
So they would, we would have heard half the conversation, and I imagine we'll question Hawk about the rest of it.
Yep. And once the Blackfinger and his friend are out of earshot, I'll tell the others that I've got a lead, and at sunset, if we meet at this tavern, I'll be able to make contact with them. So we should maybe go there.
That sounds good. All right, we should probably go get.
Do you think it'd be too suspicious if all of us go to the tavern, or should it just be Hawk going to the tavern and then he can mention he's got some friends looking for jobs too?
I think the best thing would be that we all go, but that Hawk probably goes, first, or he at least establishes contact. The other guys can hang out at the bar, but keep an eye. They would probably notice that, but I don't think that's a bad thing necessarily, because then they can see that Hawk also has friends, and they saw us help Hawk, so they know we're a team, we work good together. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I think if Hawk made contact alone, but he emphasizes the fact that he's part of a team and we're all looking to join, that might give us an in to all sort of join them.
Yeah.
But at least if all the other characters are in the tavern and spread out a bit, that if need be, if two, or three characters need to peel off and then follow at a distance or do something else, then we've got options.
That's not a bad idea, actually.
True.
All right, let me. I'm just gonna take a quick break here. I gotta text Chris because he's trying to get a hold of me. So I always worry when people text, try to call me, that it's some sort of crisis and the world is falling apart. So we'll just put the game on hold for 2 minutes here. Actually, I'll try to call him. I'll just mute myself for a sec.
Sounds good. But yeah, it would probably be a good idea, spreading out at the tavern with the guys we have at hand, so they can, watch if anything goes down, if there's a bar fight, or if anybody enters the place that looks dangerous.
Yeah, I think maybe Hawk will walk in first on alone, and then the other five can come in maybe in a group of two and in a group of three.
Yeah.
And then we've
idea.
got the option that, depending on how keen they are for us to join us, I could invite maybe the group of two to join the Thieves Guild, and then the other three can trail. Or if they're happy for all of us, then I can, invite the two groups over. Just it sort of gives us options whether we all join them and go with them, or whether we want some of us going with them and then another group sort of hanging back and then trying to follow them, which could be risky, but it might be a good idea as well.
So just out of game, what do you guys think of how the game is developing, and how does this compare to other games you've played in? Do you feel like you're playing a different game? Are you playing the same game? What do you think?
More or less the same. I like how fast we got into the game, because as far as character stuff, to me, the newer games are bad about that. It takes 3 hours to create a character, and here's, roll 3d6 down the line and let's get started.
Right.
I enjoy that.
What I like to do is have people start out just as fighters, and then I'll sort of like in the game, I'll be like, well, it seems like your character is a little bit more sensitive, and maybe you have some sort of psychic ability. Maybe you could go to a wizard and give him like 100 gold pieces to teach you how to do magic or something. Or the same with a character that's like a a cleric. Like you feel a calling. There's a temple over there. You feel a calling. Maybe you should go talk to those people. Or I mean, just sort of guide people toward their professions. But you sort of start out. The way I view it is you're all about anywhere between 14 and 20 years old, somewhere in there. You grew up on a farm. You don't know nothing. You're lucky if you know how to read. And so yeah, it's definitely different. And there's no need for character backgrounds. Excuse me. I'm just so hairy since COVID. I haven't had a haircut in a year. But yeah, it's just that, everything happens in game. Why waste your time creating character backgrounds?
Exactly.
And also, original D&D is really lethal. You're going to lose characters. It's just part of the game. And I'll warn you now, when you, if you do end up in any situations with combat, don't treat your characters like a military unit and have them side by side, because if a rock falls out of the ceiling and kills one character, it's going to kill both characters. I always tell people, just metagame a little bit so that if one guy buys the farm, your other guy's still alive and you can keep playing, which is the point of two characters. It beefs up the party with hit points and it gives you 2 lives,
I haven't rolled hit points. Should I do that?
You can. I mean, what's the constitution on your 2 characters?
11 and 14.
14. I'm trying to remember if 14 gives you a bonus. I don't think it does.
I don't think it does.
Just roll 1d6 for both your characters.
Let's see.
Do the same for mine.
Yeah, 2 and 2. So.
Oh, re-roll those. I didn't hear that. If one has 2 and one has 6, I'd feel better.
I rolled a 2 and a 1. So
a 2 and a 1. Okay, the 1, re-roll that. I just don't want to. I was joking with a guy that he was like,
I kid you not, I rolled a 1 again. So
okay.
I think it's a 2 and a 1. I don't know.
How about a 2 and a 4? Let's just make it a 2 and a 4. You have your hit points for your guys? 1d6.
Yeah, I've got a 5 and a 3.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, so I got 2.
I got a friend in Poland that I talked to about OD&D because he runs it too, and he says that he jokes about characters that get 1s. He'll let people run a player with 1, and he's like, yeah, like I had a character die from a mosquito bite. We have a list of the most embarrassing deaths for characters, and it's like, one guy had one hit point and he got bit by a mosquito and died. Okay.
Well,
yeah, I mean, because I think Rasmus, was it you that told me you only played 5e?
Yeah, and actually, I think I have played 5e for like 3 hours. I mostly DM for a group of high school friends. So I have DM'd for like 2 years straight, and I haven't really played ever myself. So I have read a lot of AD&D, and I'm trying to, convert my friends to that, and they're very much against it. So it seemed like a good opportunity to try some more old school myself. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I'm just curious if it feels different, if you think it's
I think it really depends on how you play. I think it just the fact that I have 2 characters and we haven't spent a lot of time on backstory and what their names even are, because it that doesn't matter for gameplay that much really. So I really like that. I think we're just straight into the game.
Right.
And there's we can use a bit more time on the setup and the story, and the whole intro part, which I really like because it establishes atmosphere. We can do that, and it's coherent because we don't have like a tiefling and a dragonborn and a Goliath with 2 pages of backstory each. So
right.
It really feels like more coherent to me, and I really like that.
How about you? I mean, Henry, you've played a lot. I think we've talked a lot about different systems and stuff on Twitter. So.
Yeah.
It's not gonna. I mean, is it really that much different from playing AD&D?
It's to me, it's closest to basic D&D.
Right.
So I played a lot. I played the Mensa box sets mostly during the 80s. I played a bit of D&D, but I actually really liked the simplicity of basic expert companion masters, because I like the idea of the characters develop throughout. They start off, you're just exploring local dungeons, and then you start exploring the wilderness. Then eventually you save up to get a stronghold. And
right, you got to get like up to
really
4th level before you go explore the wilderness, because it's just deadly in those games. Yeah.
So the first 3 levels are just dungeons near your hometown, and then 4 to 14 you add wildernesses, and then as you get higher, you start going to other planes, and fighters can, as soon as they got enough money, build a stronghold. Everyone else does it looks to it from name level. And I just like how you've got your characters just evolve. They come in as nothing, and then they just sort of, as they progress, they have they find their calling, and they get better at what they want to do through play, as opposed to coming in with a whole bunch of abilities and features before you even start. So this is very similar to that, which is good.
I was mostly just curious about, we're not doing any die rolls to like to know something that you don't know. I'm not going to give you a lore roll. You're going to find something, and then you get to figure out what you want to do with it. I kind of began it all as a session 0, so session 0 requires a lot of railroading just to get you into the flavor of the setting and stuff. But once you're cut loose, it's like, hey, it's up to you, right? Anyway, let's just get back to gaming. Sorry if I, disrupted the mood by asking you guys questions about it, but I really wanted to. I'm really promoting the idea of traditional role playing, and like I don't care what rules people use, but I feel like that it's a lot freer when you don't have a lot of rules like this. So you guys have made contact with the thieves. They've told you to meet them. Are you going to show up then and meet them? And I kind of heard what you said, like you're all going to show up. Some of you are going to hang out by the bar or in a booth off to the side, whatever you can find, while the other one of you meets up with the thief.
Yeah, the plan was Hawk will go in first by himself and go to the bar and look around for Blackfinger. And then the other guys will come in, one group of 2 and one group of 3, and they'll sit at different areas of the bar. And then that gives us options as to whether we all go with the thieves, or some of us go with the thieves and the rest follow, or however we want to do it. We'll just play it by ear.
Okay. Actually, I have a proposition on that. Maybe we should let 2 guys go in first, just to be sure, so Hawk doesn't go in, blind alone. So we have 2. Yeah, we have 2 guys
Good
going
point.
in. Yeah, and if they don't come out in like a minute or so because it's too dangerous, if it's fine to be in there, they just stay put, and then Hawk go in like a minute later. So they have like a minute to just look around. Is there anyone dangerous? Is there anything that looks out of place? Is this a setup? Because we don't want to walk headfirst into a trap, and if Hawk goes in there alone, he could, just be dead.
Okay.
I don't want to lose Hawk. I like him.
I like your plan, but see, Hawk's not very wise, so he wouldn't have thought of that. So he's glad to listen to someone that's maybe a bit wiser than he is.
Yeah, well, my 2 guys are like 9 and 10 in wisdom, but together that's a 19. So they.
Right. Put your heads next to each other.
They're like, let me think about this.
Hawk's got a 6, so he's going to make a lot of bad choices.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys are there. You come up to the bar. It's right. It's kind of like in a, sort of on the border between the thieves' merchant quarters. It doesn't look too rough. It looks like a decent place. It's not a low life criminal place hangout. You go in and you see Blackfinger sitting in a booth, and he's like, waves you over.
Yep, Hawk will sort of look around the room just to get the lay of the land, and then walk over to Blackfinger.
Okay, it's pretty busy. You sit down, and you see him do just kind of like, and look off to the side, you know, it's definitely like a weird sort of gesture, like maybe he's signaling somebody something. And suddenly there's a man there dressed in all black, you know, looks like a very powerful person, and he's standing next to you, and he sort of nods and, you know, indicates that you should slide over so he can slide into the booth with you.
I'll do so.
Okay. And it's a big booth. Like you could squeeze like 8 people in there, you know, it's big. And Blackfinger says, yeah, this is my friend here, all dressed in black. I've told him all about you. He's looking for some assistance. I have to cough, so I'm going to turn off my mic for a second. Clear my throat. He needs some assistance. He's got a mission he's got to go on. I don't really need to know all the details about this, but you two can work things out. So I'm just gonna mosey on out of here and let you guys talk. And so Blackfinger just leaves, you know, and the guy's like, yeah, I heard you guys helped him out of a little sticky situation today, and that you might be interested in some more work like that.
Yeah, I'm always looking forward to a business opportunity. Do you mind if I call a couple of my friends over?
Well, he did tell me that there were several of you. Yeah, I'd like to see your friends too. Bring them on over for sure.
I'll signal to the other guys to come over.
Okay, so the other guys come over. You all squeeze in. You know.
How big is this booth? Is there
it fits about 8 people. You know, you can
right.
fit. It's deep. You know.
All right. I think I would like to have one guy just stationed at the bar still. I have my 2 guys, Thomas and
okay. So one of your guys just stays at the bar?
Yeah, Simon stays at the bar.
Okay.
And the guy, wants to keep an eye on the door, yeah.
It's like, so there's 5 of you here, okay?
Yep.
There's 5 of you that are, okay. I'm willing to, I need to go on a mission into the underworld. And I need a crew that can kind of keep me safe and act as guards. What I'll do in exchange is that I'll pay you each 50 gold pieces for the journey. And for the round trip, you got to get me in and you got to get me out. I'll give you 25 gold pieces each up front to all 5 of you. And then 25 at the end of the mission. Any treasure that you find on the way is yours. I don't care. I've just got to meet somebody down there and talk to them about something important. And that's it. You know, if you need to buy do you need anything to equip yourselves to go down on a dungeon dive?
You will probably need some torches, I think, yeah. Or some lanterns, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Light sources, ropes, kittens.
Okay.
Spikes.
Yeah. The classic 10-foot.
The classic stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't we just think of stuff and write it down on your character sheet without being too extreme? The classic 10-foot pole, if anybody needs one of those. I will allow a collapsible one if you want. You know, that screws together.
That is.
He's like, yeah, here's you know, go equip yourselves tomorrow and I'll meet you, I'll get a hold of you. You know, meet me here tomorrow evening and we'll discuss more details. But I want you to know that this is a dangerous mission. It's not, you know, it's not for the faint of heart. It's really possible that some of you aren't going to make it back. And so he gets out his purse and he counts out 25 gold pieces to each of the 5 of you that are at the table.
All right.
And so this is all of you, just you 5, right?
I think my guy Thomas would say that. Oh, I have a younger brother. He would like to. He works with me as well. He's just not here right now.
Oh, where is he?
Oh, he's out and about.
Okay.
So,
okay.
But he's reliable. I would like to bring him with me.
All right. You can be included. He gives you the 25 for him. And I want to make sure that all of you understand that you shouldn't be talking to anybody about this, right?
Of course, discretion is.
Yep.
Is...
Okay. That's the. He's like, okay, we got it all set up. I'll meet you here tomorrow night. I would say that if you need to gather anything for the expedition, you should do so tomorrow during the day, and we will be leaving tomorrow night, possibly, to go on the mission. I'm not going to tell you any details, though. It might be tomorrow night. It might be the morning after tomorrow night. But be ready by tomorrow night. I just need to hear back when I need to go. And he gets up and he leaves. You guys are free to hang out there and get drunk, or you can go back to your lodging, or.
All right, so I'm concerned that this has nothing to do with anything that we want to do. We have no confirmation that this is actually. We could just be working for the Thieves Guild now and helping them without actually furthering our own cause. Because we have no.
Wasn't that the point, though? Like, we need to get into the Thieves Guild, and then we kind of navigate our way through the Thieves Guild from there. So, I mean, we got our in.
That's true.
We just got to prove ourselves.
My first concern would be, a timetable. I don't know what kind of timetable we are on, if we're in a hurry or not. But probably I think I agree that we should probably just do this job, show that we are reliable and can get stuff done, and then we'll probably figure something out later.
Yeah, if we do one mission for them, like that gets us the in, as you said, and then we can work out from there whether there's leads worth pursuing with the Thieves Guild or if we need to try another approach.
All right.
But Lavender seemed convinced, and she had the dragon symbol. Yeah. So I trust her that this is probably the best lead we've got at the moment.
Should we get a message to Lavender? I'm not sure how we would, or just leave it and touch base with her after the mission.
I think she'll find us when she wants to find us. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if she's got people watching us now and knowing what we're doing anyway.
Yeah, exactly. She did mention that, actually. It's a good point.
Okay. What are you going to do?
Oh, yeah, but this just, she said that she would be uncontactable in a couple of, for like a couple of days. So that at least points, shows us that, all right, she expects us to, spend a couple of days infiltrating. It's not like we have to infiltrate on day one. So that is just for my own ease of mind. I say that, but.
Right. Good deal. Yeah, we're doing our job.
Okay, so one person tell me exactly what you guys are doing now. I was kind of spacing out and letting you guys talk amongst yourselves.
I don't think
that's fine. I think we were just at the bar kind of discussing what just happened.
Okay.
But
what are you going to do? Here, like, what are you doing?
I think let's take a drink, maybe something to eat, and discuss what we need to buy tomorrow for the expedition.
Okay.
Yeah? Everybody
making
agree?
a shopping list.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely need a shopping list.
Okay, so you guys eat. I mean, there's a just mark like minus money for now, instead of having to tally every little detail of your gold pieces. We can work that out later. Your meals probably cost about, for soup and bread, it might be like, I don't know, 2 copper pieces or something like that. So for 6 of you, 12 copper pieces, just subtract that from whoever wants to buy. And you eat your food. It's pretty uneventful. Give me some die rolls. Everybody give me a D6.
One for each character, or just?
Yeah, one for each character.
Double ones.
Who got double ones?
Snake Eyes.
I did.
You did. Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm on a 1 and a 3.
A 1 and a 3.
Yeah.
I got a 1 and a 6.
I'm a little worried about all these ones.
All these ones.
Yeah.
What did you roll?
Team 1.
What did you get, Daniel?
Oh, I got the 2 1s.
You got the 2 1s. Wait,
Yep.
you got 2 1s. I thought Henry got 2 1s.
No.
No, I got 1 and a 6.
Wait, okay, so I got a 1 and a 6, a 1, and
a 3.
And a what?
And a 1 and a 3.
And 2 1s. So we got 4 1s.
Yep.
Yeah.
I hope it's a good thing.
You guys are sitting there, and all of a sudden, you're like pleating over your little bowl of soup, eating your soup, and suddenly a fight breaks out, and a guy just lands in the middle of the table, and before you know it, the whole bar is just turning into a fist fight. I want you each to roll me a d20.
Per character or?
Yeah, per character. Roll low.
Hey, natural 20.
Natural 20.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
And a 3.
And a 3. Okay.
I got a 3 and a 12.
A 3 and a 12, and then
19 and 11.
Oh, okay. So the let's start with the 12. The 12, by the end of the whole fight, the 12's got a black eye.
No.
The 19, you're fine except for somebody's stolen your sword, and you've been punched up a little bit,
no.
After the whole fight, you guys can't find the guy that got the 20. And you're looking around and finally, you go outside, you go outside, and you find him like somebody's just like he's unconscious and somebody's just smushed his face into like a big pile of manure. He's just like a mess, and I would say that and you're so bruised up. I mean, I think that you're gonna have to have like a minus like 4 on your charisma for a little while, just because you're just you've just got really bruised up.
He had a high charisma. That's my only high stat.
The guy.
Yeah.
They got the pretty
Charisma
boy.
is his only high stat, and that just got a -4.
All right.
I have nothing above a 12 now.
So
Hilarious.
the next day starts. I mean, I figure you find your way back to your lodgings. When you get there, you find that there's new food there. Somebody's brought you food. And there's fresh food. There's some fruit there even this time. There's bread. There's a little bit of wine. Of course, you guys got into that whole mess at the inn. Oh, hey. Look, somebody else showed up to play.
Whoa.
Yeah, got a friend here. Don't know. See who it is here. David is here. Hi, David. Oh, his mic is off. We'll wait a second till David gets in.
Yeah, mine did some weird thing where it had me call in.
Yeah.
Am I mic? Is it on now?
Your mic is on. Do you have a camera?
Yeah, I thought the video was on.
Turn your camera on. Do you guys know who David McGarry is?
I don't know that I do.
Oh, he's the guy that invented. He was the first
dungeon,
thief.
right?
He was the first person to play a thief in a fantasy role-playing dungeon.